I sometimes forget what other people like, what they obsess over in the mind, what's important to them might not be important to me. I'm not saying I'm going out of my way to stop it or to start it, make it happen. But I ain't really trying to make it none of my concern because my way of life and the way I look, not just physically, what clothes I wear, but how I look out at it and everybody else. It's almost like I'm distanced from myself, aloof, looking at myself as I interact with other people or accomplish some tasks, action. And yet, it can be so personal too. Meditation, trying to put my mind inside of a part of my body, like my finger or my toe, holding myself there. I'm moving around, some out of body experience, a remote viewing. Don't let me down. I got these skills, but I'm not good at controlling them. Sometimes I can sound like anybody, but not who I want to. And although I can remote view, it's not usually who I want to remote view. Or at least I don't think it is. Maybe it's a subconscious trick. Yeah. And that's just like me too. The worst part of me, to just agree with people, but only on the surface, only to be glib. I am whatever you say I am, like Eminem. I'm not afraid of what people think. I'm not afraid of getting static from other people. I'm not afraid of other people getting me wrong. I used to be afraid of being like my father or my mother, losing control of myself and letting go, finding myself strung out and hopeless, a drug addict, all alone on some lonely road. Maybe compromise myself and what I thought I would never do. My point of view, I've already done so many different things I thought I never would. But people don't really change. You like mostly what you always like. And even if you do try new things, whether you like them or not, you usually just want to do what you've always wanted to do, like play guitar or read or obsess over some girl that you have a crush on. I crush easily every woman that's ever been nice to me, ever since I was a little kid. And some of them were older women, and some of them were girls my age. But they didn't really have to do or say much. They just didn't have to be like some other people had been to me. And that's an easy thing to do. But then again, it's more of a not yet thing. Oh, you haven't broke my heart yet? Oh, you haven't gotten me wrong yet? Oh, that's a lie though. You probably have. But most people get other people wrong and are gotten wrong all the time. It really should enlighten the mind and the intelligent, inquisitive kind to let them know, inform them that most thoughts that you have about other people, and the first thought that comes to your head, that assumption is most likely incorrect. The simplest explanation is usually the correct one, and the simplest explanation is something that you can't usually think of because your brain instead comes up with what it thinks is the simplest explanation. But you don't have all the information. If you did, then you would come up with the simplest explanation. But since you don't, you come up with the wrong explanation. I see it in nature all the time. It doesn't really matter as long as you love. And you can make it with like anyone. If they're the right mind and they're the right kind, you're lucky to have found each other. But I can't be friends with someone who ain't my friend. And real friends invite their friends to their weddings. Thanks, sis. Yeah. Even if they wouldn't have gone because they were broke as hell. And although I never liked being a mooch, the ironic part of it is I wasn't the one who was mooching all the time. When it comes to words, when it comes to ways and wisdom, know how to treat people. Don't be so judgy too. You don't have to like everything somebody else likes. But whether you do or not, who cares? Did they ask your opinion about it? You gotta keep in mind that those other people, they have likes and dislikes too. And what you like or don't like doesn't really pertain to them. And even if you're in a relationship, you don't have to like the same thing as the person you're in a relationship with. Or all the same things anyway. That opposites attract. Popular slogan. It's just BS. If it wasn't BS, then you would be with a gay person because you're hetero or vice versa. You know? There's really no such thing. And even if there is, who cares? Might be at rock bottom at one point, but I don't plan on being there all my life. In fact, I could be bragging, or I might just be being humble. I got a lot of business and work on my plate that you wouldn't understand. Intellectual property, ideas, people to help, books to write, books that I am writing, schoolwork. I would be depressed as fuck if I didn't get any of this shit done too. In fact, every time I don't turn in a lesson for my class and my grades suffer, I get a little more depressed. That's why I've been on top of it. Because not passing my classes would make me feel like a failure. Whether I had other stuff to do or not. And he should have just minded his own business, because I'm more likely to do something because I want to than because somebody else wants me to. But really, it was just an excuse. And there's all these things that I could say that I could quit saying. And maybe next time when it's not a freestyle, I won't use these words as much so redundantly. But I hope the other words I use make up for the placeholders in their proper places before I drop the bomb. The golden phrase, the Midas touch, the dirty word, to blow your buzz and get you high, take you there, and leave you right. And if it's warm outside, then you wake up in the ditch the next day. And if it's cold enough, then you will never wake up again. Unless there's no such thing as death, and you wake up in a different world. Probably a lot like the one that you left, with all the same people in it, except the ones that passed on. And they have your funeral service and people cry. And then they all die because they can't live a life without you in it. So they all end up in the same place too, forgetting that you died. And it's all just physicists stood of matters, principles, and scientific notions. The scientific method, theoretically proven over and over again in different situations. Well, I improvisation, prophesize. I can't really look them in the eyes while people call me shady. They say, I've heard it before. I don't know, he's got that shifty eyes thing going on. The other person knows says, oh, he's just got a lazy eye, dude. And I'm thankful for that person, because when people call me shady and shifty because of my eyes, it makes me really subconscious, to the point where I get even more shady and shifty. I can't even fucking look at them after that. It's too weird for me, because I know that they noticed. And they took it the wrong way because of their prejudice bullshit. And I'm so used to that shit, but it's okay. But it ain't okay if they make it not okay, to the point where I have to deal with it, and it wrecks my day or fucks it up at all. Or as Jelly Roll said, no matter what I do, I feel I'm only judged by mistakes. When that shit's thrown up in my face, man, it fucks up my day. Even if the good outweighs it by 1,000,000 to 1, they're still gonna judge me for that single fucking thing that I've done. Even if the good outweighs it by 1,000,000 to 1, they're still gonna judge me for that single fucking thing that I've done. I try not to think. I try not to dwell in the past. No matter what I do, it keeps dragging me back. Kinda like it's always chasing my ass. And if I look in the mirror and I saw a perfect body, I'm not as ugly as I used to be, but I've never been attracted to men. And that's the only reason I think I'm ugly. I think all men are ugly. I always have. It's not a testament to how I feel. It's nothing bad. I'm just not attracted to their hairy asses. So they can't be offended, because I feel the same way about myself. And I wasn't trying to hurt anybody's feelings. It doesn't hurt mine. got over it a long time ago. I thought it was my lazy eye, and that's why I was so ugly. But then one day I realized when I met a lazy-eyed woman and thought how beautiful she is, that, oh, I don't find any men attractive. And then I looked at myself again and I said, holy shit, I feel good about me. It's okay to be ugly as long as you're happy about it. And I never had that thought again. I can look in the mirror, but I'm not good at pretend. Yeah, I try to be nice to everybody and not have hateful thoughts. And when people are mean to me, I try not to let it get to me or even remember it, except as a reminder to not hang out with them or associate as a friend. If I didn't have a good time, that's no reason to write you off. But if you consistently make me feel bad and never seem to get me, but always put your bullshit on me and never ask me what I thought, then that's a one-sided relationship. Because I have thoughts, and you embarrassing yourself assuming what they are gets old after a while. Kind of like hanging out with a liar when you never fucking lie, and they try and drag you into their lies too. Do they realize that it barely annoys you? But I think they're just so fucking clueless that they'll never get you. It's not like you have the rarest personality type in the world. Would it make a difference if you did? 1%. But it's kind of like buying milk. There's a lot of 1% milk on the shelf. Some people like 2%, but I always go for whole milk. More bang for your buck. They say, why don't you get half and half then? Because it's more expensive for less. It is pretty good though. Plus, voices in my head got me ripped off one time because of that. I was like, God damn you. I don't believe in losing. Not really anyway. I've lost at a video game before on a level, but I always went back and played it again until I beat it. For the most part anyway, at least the ones I haven't beaten yet, I just haven't got to it yet. I know I'm gonna get to it someday, or die before I do. And if I'm dead, then I'll never worry about it again. Not that I worry. I used to worry about my family members when I was younger, but I was a lot less experienced than I am now. And if you never knew the rules of the game, then how did they ever expect you to play? Blame you for when you get it wrong, get them wrong or gotten wrong. They call you a sociopath, and when they want to be an ass, they call you a psychopath. Because you told them a long time ago that psychopaths are less intelligent than sociopaths. And they think you got a complex like they do. Because they were called stupid too much when they were young dudes or young chicks. Just kids called stupid or retarded again. And these days it's just the way that other people use to stop people from becoming rappers or freestyling or hip-hop of any sort, because it takes a lot of self-esteem to get called retarded and to reach deep within yourself and find words of some meaning. Even if it ain't meaningful, at least you don't think it's that meaningful. It might mean something, a whole lot more to somebody else. And it's competitive as hell. I only learned to rhyme so I would be a better lyricist for my heavy metal that I was planning on orchestrating, conducting, jamming. If not with other people, then by myself. Just put it together and, one piece at a time. Didn't think I would ever be able to play and sing. But back then I didn't even care. I was all down for instrumental. And you don't really know what it means to me. You don't ever seem to get me or how I feel or what it does. Make it real. Transport my mind and my body, my spirit to a different place. A plane where I dwell. Maybe uplift to what I need. Like getting lost in a book and then suddenly it's over and you almost cry like you lost a friend. Especially if it's the last one in the series then. But already my brain's making up a tale about what's happening to them. And it's easing my mood, my feelings, helping me live with myself in this life, the moment, back to the story, out of the adventure. And then I started living my life, not just in a book, but having fun too. Something I never expected to do. Because life could be the book, life could be the adventure. And I know somebody said that to me at the Mar Bar one time when I mentioned Adventure Time and they said they weren't a homo. And I thought to myself, I know I don't really get people, but who cares if you are or not? You be you and you like what you like. You don't have to be what I like. You don't have to be similar. We don't have to vibe. We don't have to get along. And we can get along and not like the same stuff or even most of the same stuff. We could only have one thing in common or nothing at all. It could be the wickedness in your heart. Vibing with the wicked energy from all the fucked up shit that I've seen and what's been done to me. I know that I already was ruined from a young age. We all broken people somehow, crippled in some way, twisted. Yeah, but I know it's sad. There's some kind of purity in darkness and evil and rage even. But my spirit's clean. Gotta respect yourself enough to love yourself enough to take care of yourself enough to set a good example so other people don't give up, so other people, whether they got money or not, find a way to stay fed, to get to a better place, to get a job, make more money, to eat. Yeah, I know I'll save a life because I've saved some lives before. I've seen other people just walk by somebody that needed help like they didn't exist. And I thought to myself, how come I'm so different than them? without judgment, and of course I'm knows, but it really is the truth. I gotta protect myself, but I also gotta protect you from myself. Yeah, you might not realize this. You make that mistake a lot with me, thinking just cause I got patience and I'm so nice that they can't bring out the beast. You know, talking shit to me for 3 hours, calling me all these names, abusive things. Then you started pushing me, telling me I had to leave, and it was 40 below outside, and about midnight. I told you not to push me again, but you didn't take me seriously, didn't have respect for me. I've never been violent towards you, barely ever raised my voice around you, even when other people have pissed me off. Just weren't expecting any retaliation, but you pushed me again and I snapped. I lost complete control of myself, but it felt so good. The rage that had boiled up within me in the last hour, explosively released. And I was on top of you, punching you in the face over and over again, left, right, but not at full power. My girlfriend was screaming in the living room, a couple paces away, but she wasn't getting into it. She didn't want to get hurt. Please stop, just stop hitting it. Finally, I gained control of myself. I barely had control. I wanted to hit him again, but instead I took his cell phone and I left it out on the stairs 40 below for him to find the next day, cause I'm not a thief. I just didn't want him calling the police while he was so fucking drunk and getting me in trouble and going to jail. I thought he'd probably reconsider it the next day. I mean, he's Lupiak and Eskimo, so I'm pretty sure he has good health insurance. Plus, I told him not to push me. That's just one example. That's a justifiable action. But what about when other people come up on you? It seems like you've been in that situation before, deja vu, and all the events leading up to that point were exactly the same. But in the other situation, you got attacked for no reason, immediately following the next couple words. Sure enough, those words were the same. And I was like, surreal. Two places at once. And because of what happened last time, I wasn't gonna let you get the jump. But it's a completely different person now. And I had to examine it over and over again in my mind. Did I go overboard, overreact? The hardest part is apologizing, especially when they cool about it. The painful part's sensing the fear. And I almost feel bad that I never feel ashamed about it. Cause I work so fucking hard not to let that happen, not to let that mean. Make the day about him. Cause really he don't exist, and even if he does, I don't wanna live in a cage either. That would just make it worse. And I know that this world's full of bullies and mentally ill people who seem to get off on being evil and pretending that you're weak because they are, or that the shit that they think bothers you really does, and you have to pretend it does. Otherwise, they'll keep on coming at you until fight, or until you accidentally put a stop to it, or put a stop to it on purpose. But it's just really so petty and childish, it's not anything I ever worry about. But I know I'm pretty clueless to that type of thinking. They're really a sociopath in comparison. But maybe I should say psychopath, because their lack of intelligence is embarrassing. When I call someone stupid, I say it straight up. You know, I'm not that type of person that has the type of guile or is manipulative enough to want to make somebody feel stupid with my words, unless it's in a different way. And I might have done that in a different way, but they got it eventually. And knew that I was fucking with them, as opposed to, you know, trying to mind fuck them. I would rather fuck than mind fuck. I want fuck friends, not fucked friends. Or just, you know, a real relationship type thing. People say, oh, love ain't real. And I say, you know, you'll never get it. I know you're jaded, and you could have just said that. But love is the realest thing in the world. Love is the reason why mothers lift helicopters to rescue their kids. Love is the feeling that you have for your family when you're a kid before you know what about the word love. And when some other kid tries to explain what love is to you, you don't get it. Because the way they explain love isn't anything like the feeling you have for your family. You know. And then one day you get it, oh, you mean those people that you care about more than anybody else? To where, like, you don't tell them that you love them because you feel it too much. But you don't want to take advantage of you taking advantage of. So you kind of just got them at a standstill, put them at a distance, make sure they never. That's it. Because if they do, they might cause more damage. It's all about damage control. Mostly for